Hey everyone, John Blackman here, and I just read some interesting stats about the national market that I wanted to share with everyone, so hopefully you'll find this interesting. If you don't like real estate stats, then you're in the wrong place. So pending home sales have declined for 11 months nationally. Existing home sales peaked in November of 2017, and existing inventory has been rising for 4 months, which is actually long overdue because we were in a huge slump for a long time. And then appreciation has been slowing, but is not going down for 6 months. That's always like a fun news title to use, like, hey, appreciation's going down. Yeah, that just means you're making money less fast, but you're still going up. So just be careful with that verbiage. And then starts have been flat since 2016. Starts being like new homes that are being built in the market. And then new inventory has risen from 4.9 months in November of 2017 to 7.4 months now. Now that's nationally, that is nowhere near like Austin at all. So like the overall trend for the national stats level is that starts are about the same, appreciation is slowing but not going down, and then inventory is rising. Well, Austin is like none of those. So for the last 3 years in Austin, sales have gone up slightly, which has been consuming inventory. So it's been burning up the inventory because we keep selling more and more each year. Sales actually peaked out of the last 3 years in 2018. So they might go even higher in 2019, we'll see, but we're out of inventory, so there's like nothing left to sell. And existing inventory has decreased every year since 2016. So those rising sales in Austin are just consuming the inventory. Oh, come on in, Kate, don't worry about the camera. And so 2018 was actually worse than 2017 in terms of total inventory. And median prices are increasing year over year in Austin because there's just less to buy, so there's price pressure. So everything is going up slower, but they're still increasing. So I'm going to compare this to kind of 2018. I'm going to pull like a Ross Perot moment on you here. For those of you who remember Ross Perot, this was what 2018 looked like. You know, you had like, hey, everything's just zipping right up. Everybody's making tons of money. You know, everyone's buying 2 or 3 houses in cash and that kind of stuff, or with no cash, right? And then, you know, the big crisis hits, falls down, and then, you know, we've been recovering ever since. So that was what the crash looked like. And I'm kind of glad that the crash is still on everybody's mind, so people are fearful and a little bit apprehensive. And I would prefer just like a nice, stable, regular market as opposed to all this crashing and booming, just because it's less panicky. And so this is what's happening now. It's just like a regular old business curve, right? So prices are going up. Now, where we are exactly, you know, I would say that we're probably somewhere right here in Austin. And you never know, we might not even do the dip. We might continue to go up. But if we get here, this is going to show up from increased interest rates. So everyone is expecting them to go up a little bit this year, somewhere around a point. It's kind of what the kind of like the zeitgeist is. Although we did have interest rates drop recently with a big stock sell-off that happened in December. So that's kind of a short reprieve. So if you want to get a note now, it's a good time because I think rates are artificially low for at least a couple months until the Fed will start kicking those rates up as the year comes along. But Austin still just does not match the national market, and real estate is very, very local. And so if you're buying in Austin, the fact is that there's just not as much inventory out there. So it's both a good time to sell and a good time to buy, because if you're selling, like, hey, there's not much out there, so price pressure is up. But if you're buying, hey, rates are only going one direction. Now, those rates are going to actually put some downward pressure on home prices because you can buy less, but you still have a lot of upward pressure coming from people moving here and not a lot of inventory. So it's not like you can just say, hey, rates are going up, so prices are going to go down. So we'll see how that works out, but I thought I would just let you know what I thought of some news that I had seen today. And if you're seeing stuff on the news, it's like, oh, we're going to have another crash, or housing prices are dropping, or there's this big, you know, pandemic or something coming with housing prices. It's just not true, at least in my opinion. I can't predict the future, of course, but we don't have that giant surplus of inventory that you saw back in 2008. It's just not there now, especially not in Austin. And also, lending practices are still pretty tight. You're not seeing people pull a ton of money out of their homes. The amount of equity that's been pulled out of homes is literally a fourth of what it was in 2018. So to me, it's just like a nice, boring business curve, right? So everything goes up, and then it comes down a little bit, and then it comes back up, and then it goes down a little bit. So hopefully, it'll just stay nice and normal. And if you have a small dip, no big deal, because real estate is a long-term game. You don't buy real estate to sell it in a year or two. You buy it to just let it sit there and appreciate. And Austin is definitely an appreciation play. prices just keep going up because everyone likes to live here, and you can't get anything built fast enough because it takes so long to permit with the city, which is a totally separate rant that I'm not going to get on right now. So hopefully you found it interesting, and you guys are having a good Friday morning, and have a great weekend. Catch you later.